Hey team, welcome to the end of weekend 3. This week I thought I'd start off on the front lawn and take a quick look at these loose strifes that have developed in our culvert, I think. And turning around, we have a massive apple tree here. I think it's an apple. Crab apples. They're going on over there. One fun little thing that's going on here is we've got this ivy that was left here by the previous owners. It was just sitting in the basement, but I decided to bring it up here and see if it could survive and maybe thrive against this fence post thinger. Another new addition this week is these hydrangeas. This might be where they live forever, we'll see. We'll dig them a hole somewhere and we'll take care of them. So let's check out the backyard. Oop. It's not too much going on this week. We got our second vaccinations, so not a ton of stuff was managed to get done this weekend. We got chickadees here. Let's see if they'll come hang out. Peekaboo. Hanging out on the big dumb yellow chicken. One thing that we did this week is we took apart the previously assembled wooden things that were here. We're saving those. We might use them for a future project. Let's go check out the hut, see what's changed here, which honestly is pretty minimal. The main thing that's changed here, whoop, is we move the seats around so that we can get a better look of our whole backyard, the both of us. Previously it was kind of just one chair here, facing towards the deck, and we really wanted to make it so that both seats could look good. This hanging plant was here when we got the house, and it was all super brown and dead. Just like this, but there's some life going on up there, so we'll probably clean it out and see what's alive. Look at the tomatoes, they're huge. One thing that did happen in here is we took out all of the nightshade that was in here, and that was probably a good 2/3 of the biomass that was in here. So it looks a lot emptier, but it also looks a lot cleaner. And now we only have tomatoes that will maybe let us get some actual tomatoes out of this. Oh, there's a little sucker right here that I'm just going to get rid of. Boop. And one down here. Boop. So these are starting to get pretty tall on us. We will likely have to get some really tall stakes. Coming down here, we can see that the turnips are doing fantastically. We thinned these out just yesterday. Prior to this, there were so many more plants. They were all pretty spindly though. What's pretty exciting here is that these little wisps are carrots. And we've got a whole lot here. It's possible, though unlikely I guess, that we could get 4 times 16, which is a lot of carrots. Over here, this red growth that you see. Yeah. That should be beets. They're looking beautiful. We may have to thin those out in a couple weeks, but right now they're looking great. And right next to them, also kind of red, we've got some Swiss chard. That was one of the first things that started popping up. It's going great. And then over here, just to the right, we've got some spinach. I just want to get this nice little view here of being right among the spinach and in our garden. It's so lovely. We've got the hostas. The hostas are also shooting up. They're getting big. Great for our pollinators. Strawberries here are doing really well, actually. The one strawberry that came up already, that we saw anyway, got eaten before we got to consider eating it ourselves. What else? Oh, the lilac here. We've started to mulch around it pretty heavily, and this is mostly for like upkeep of the lawn around this Chinese lilac. Oh, here we go. This little trumpet right here, which won't focus, there we go, is a morning glory. And so we've got all these vines going on here. And that's all morning glory. And this morning we saw this trumpet open for the first time, and it was glorious. I think last week I showed off this one bee's balm here. Since then, several have come up and died off. And it's only been a week. We've got our bolted basil, some out-of-control parsley, some rosemary that's not looking so good. Honestly, we probably won't really keep this herb raised bed, but it's nice to look at for now. Let's look back over here. Oh, one thing that we did get that no one will see yet is we got a rake and a shovel. The rake is to help us with this mulch over here, which I'll go visit in a moment. And the shovel is so that we can bury stuff like the hydrangeas. Or, actually, let's go back for a quick second. The shovel is for the hydrangeas, and the previous owners left this chestnut tree. I think this is the chestnut. Chestnut might actually be this one. Yeah. Okay, one sec. So the previous owners left this little chestnut tree. It's real small, it's in a pot. There's some other stuff growing in there with it. And I think it would be neat if we were to try planting that right in the back corner over there. I'll show you where I'm thinking when we get over there. But first, let's talk about one of the projects that we did this week. And that was this tumbler composter that I teased last time I did a little walk around. Last time it was still in the box, put it together. It took probably about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And now we have a composter. So it's got these two little compartments on it. This one is like the active one, the stuff that we're adding stuff into, and this is the one that's cooking, that will, you know, be undisturbed other than rotating this bin for several weeks. Take a quick little look in there. Oop. You can see a bag in there. We've got compostable bags. So our current strategy is to collect the compost in our fridge, and then every so often bring it out here. And then what we do is we dump it all in there, equal parts greens and browns, and we just stir it. Try and make sure it's got the right moisture levels. One thing that is happening right now is we've got all of these little sprouts So it's hard to say what's going on here, but we did plant, or toss I suppose, a whole bunch of wildflower seeds. And we're hoping that by the end of the summer, or in like a couple of weeks, this might grow in with wildflowers. And that'll be nice for all of our pollinators again, alongside all of this spotted touch-me-not. These are weeds, but we've decided to keep them just because there's so much in the way of pollinator food here. There's just dozens on every plant. And these are apparently pretty good for hummingbirds, which we love. So we want to keep those around until we have good natural replacements for them and for the butterflies. Turning around real quick, we've got our, I don't know what you'd call this, our center garden, if you would. This thing has been hard to keep on top of for our weeds, but what you can see, a big change from last week, is our sunflowers have opened up. Look at that. It's amazing. Love it. So those sunflowers, both of these, just gonna come around here, they were left here again from the previous owners in a pot, both together on the deck. And so one of the first things we did was we took the sunflowers and transplanted them into this bed. They're so tiny though. After we transplanted them, they really didn't look that good. They were pretty sickly. And so we brought out some like vegetable compost, just some stuff that you sprinkle on and water. And then we added a layer of mulch around the base of each. And since then, they've been doing wonderfully. They're not really getting much taller, but the leaves have all started to get much more green. And they've opened up. Let's look over here at our mulch field. So last week when I made a video, all that was on here was just wood chips, and it was probably about 2/3 the size of this whole thing. Since then, I've cut the grass a couple times. Well, I've cut this backyard once, and that's what you're seeing all on top here. So we've decided to kind of get mulch wherever we can get it from. And with this big yard and how quickly the grass grows in, we're going to have ample grass clippings to use for the compost, for mulch, like in our garden area, for mulch around our trees, like around that Chinese lilac back there. And so that should prove to be pretty useful for us as we start to get this whole garden thing kick-started. I imagine once we get through like the initial bit, the only main use that we'll have for grass clippings is going to be around trees like you see here. But until we get to that point, it's going to make a great addition to the wood chips that we have, and the wood chips that we'll hopefully get more of in the future. So I had mentioned the chestnut tree that was in the hut all the way over there. We were thinking that it might work out to put the tree maybe here-ish. So a little bit away from the corner. Not really concerned about blocking out any sun, since the sun kind of goes on a path through here and then ends up all the way over there in the evening. So we're thinking it should still be able to get a whole bunch of sun, but not shade out the rest of the property, and maybe it could grow. And if not, then well, we tried. So that's about it for this week. Next week, we'll see what we do. I'm hoping that we could maybe get a fence planned out. A pretty big one. When we had previously measured it out, we were talking 36 feet by 24 with enough clearance from the fences. And that was approximately like just somewhere under 900 square feet. So in order to do that, we're going to need to put up a fence. We have a strategy for a fence to keep the groundhog out and the rabbits out. They've been around a lot lately. And we are doing what we can to get wood chips to fill it up. I'm trying some free wood chip sources, including Chip Drop, as well as Still Next Door. I'm looking on Kijiji and like Craigslist and that sort of thing. We'll see what comes out of that. Worst case, I guess we'll see if we can get some delivered. But that's not a problem for today. That's not a problem for this week, because this week is over. There we go. That's what's happened on the farm thing this week. I'm sure I've missed some stuff. It's been busy as always, but a bit of a lower key weekend again, due to the vaccines and stuff. But we're doing well. Alright. Thanks for hanging out. Maybe one day I'll show you the inside the house. Oh geez, that's me. Alright. See you next week.